All right, hello and welcome back to Nancy Drew and the Sea of Darkness. We've explored around town fairly well, but finally we're going to explore the ship, the Heerlijkheid, maybe is how I say it. Let's see if Nancy's satisfied with the exploration we've done of the Misty Skip.
That's done.
All right, so how about the town? Have we successfully explored the town?
Can't check that off yet.
All right, so we still got some more to do in town. Certainly haven't gone to the ship yet, but let's go check it out. We're going to start with the radio, which we briefly popped in on, but then we got the key from Dagny. See if we have anything else to learn here from
Oh,
Lisbeth.
hello.
Has anyone checked Magnus's cabin?
No, I wanted to.
But you didn't or can't?
Soren won't let anyone up there.
His cabin might give me a lead on his location. Can you help me find a way in?
No, this town takes care of its own. Our problems are ours, no one else's.
I heard something about your family line in connection to the ship. Do you feel you have a claim to it?
It's true. The ship is mine, and everything on it. My great-great-great-great-grandfather was the original captain.
So, what did you think of the restoration project then?
She is a beautiful ship, truly. But her history is stained with blood. Even though the treasure is rightfully mine, this fairy tale chasing business seems wrong. I thought the restoration would unite the town, but all it's done is drive us further apart.
Interesting. Let's go with this down here.
What happens if you do find it?
Family. People. That's what matters. The rest is useless noise.
All right. So some interesting motivations from Lisbeth concerning the treasure and this whole process.
I heard the story about your family.
I grew up with so much anger. I couldn't believe people would do that to one another.
People do strange things when money's on the line. I think they could bury the hatchet and move on. I guess not.
Nothing is ever buried here. Just sleeping, and sometimes it awakens in unexpected ways.
So what's behind the mystery door?
So, what's behind the mystery door?
Just an old broom closet?
Can I see?
No.
Not even a hint?
Go away.
Apparently we annoyed her by trying to force our way into that door. Let's see what we get when we deal with the radio here.
Hello? Hello? No one's there.
Magnus? Magnus, is that you?
Guess again.
Uh-oh.
Who is this?
Wait, I can explain. I didn't know he was going to go missing, and okay, so I haven't filled out all the daily logs for the guy in months, and yes, okay, so I napped through all of the training videos, but I didn't mean to, and I guess what I'm saying is please don't fire me.
I'm not here to fire you.
So you're not working with my boss?
Nope.
Oh man, that's a relief. Well then, this is Control Tower number 32, Operator Alex Lintrong speaking.
Hi, Alex. I'm Nancy.
Let's go with this one.
What's all this about the daily logs and a missing person?
Magnus. He's gone, isn't he? I wanted to say something, but I didn't want to get in trouble.
What did you hear?
Some pretty messed up stuff. I don't know if I can tell you.
Why not?
Whoever took him, they might come after me too. And if my boss finds out someone went missing on my watch and I didn't report it, look, I need this internship. If I get fired here, I'll be a barista until I die. I'm allergic to coffee, man. I can't go back. I can't go back to that life.
Alex, slow down and stay calm. I
Not
need
dramatic
your
at
help.
all.
If what you're saying is true, Magnus might be in serious danger.
But you don't have to handle this alone. I like that.
But you don't have to handle this alone.
Okay, I heard Magnus calling in early morning, same as always, just to say hi around 6. Then we started chatting, just like we always do. He was excited about the ship he was piloting. He said it was his baby. He started pulling into Skipbroad Harbor. I heard a voice On board, I mean. He went to go check it out, left the radio on. I heard shouting, fighting, then nothing. Just silence.
That's not good. I think this investigation just went from missing persons to abduction.
It's dark out there, and the water's cold. But I know he didn't go on his own. That's why I'm keeping my head down.
Again, it goes away with the theory that, oh, maybe he just fell overboard. Sure.
Was the voice you heard male or female?
I couldn't tell. I was too freaked out, and they were too distant. I hope he's okay.
Who is this?
Who are you?
Just a lowly undergrad assigned to a cubicle, a pair of headphones, and a computer. I'm here on an internship for my maritime psychology degree. My parents said I'd never find a paying job. Shows them. Me and Magnus, we were kind of buddies. I mean, we never met or anything, but whenever he'd radio in, he always wanted to chat. Not a lot of people want to chat with the intern.
Oh. Doesn't sound like she's from around
Are
here.
you from around here?
Nope. Massachusetts.
So, what are you doing here?
Whoa. Deep. I gotta think about that one. I mean, what are any of us doing in this crazy, messed up world, you know?
No, I mean in Iceland, in a control tower, that stuff.
Oh, that. I work in the harbor controller's office. I keep track of ship movement and speak with anyone taking a ship to harbor in Iceland.
Fair enough.
What can you tell me about Magnus?
He's totally weird. Good weird. Not serial killer weird. He's one of those people who rarely speaks, but when they do, it's the most interesting thing you've heard in days. He bottles up thoughts and distills them.
Oh, interesting.
Sure, why not? We'll be
What on
polite.
earth is a maritime psychology degree?
I have a 30-page thesis answering exactly that question, but it can all be boiled down to 2 words. Sailor feelings.
Oh, interesting.
Sure, let's learn about these daily logs.
What did you mean by daily logs earlier?
There are these logs I'm supposed to fill out whenever a vessel passes through us.
So, are they filled out?
Kind of. I turned one sheet into an homage to my relationship with my mom, another into this super cool drawing of a whale. I haven't been keeping tabs on vessels as well as I should be.
Strong work.
How cool are we talking?
The coolest! I actually stapled it to my cubicle wall, and regardless, I don't have any records of Magnus going through our waters.
Great.
I need a way to distract someone on board this ship.
So you can do what exactly?
Snoop through their stuff?
Hey, at least you're honest about it. Acceptance is the first step to healing. Yeah, I can help.
What do I do?
Hold up, Klepto. I've got a favor to ask first.
Okay, name your price.
There's a lighthouse near Skipbrook. You can probably see it from town. But the light's busted right now. If you can get up there and fix that light, it means I can stay here at HQ with my cup of tea and giant snuggle blanket.
I'll give it a whirl.
My cell number is 978-555-0139. Give me a call when you're standing in front of the light. I'll tell you what to do next.
All right, so you got to go figure out something with this lighthouse in order to get the keys to Magnus's cabin, which we are assuming are in Lisbeth's bag.
Have you met Dagny?
Is that the super mercenary one? Always freezing, kind of sassy?
Sounds like her.
She used to call me all the time. Always tried to get information about Magnus's plans to come in and out of harbor. Joke's on her. I'm so disorganized I can't match my sock colors, let alone keep records of Magnus's charting. She always wanted to know when he'd be gone. I never told her, obviously.
What was she trying to do in his absence?
No clue. But I did some internet stalking on her, one of my many talents. I found out she's wanted in the States for skimming some cash off a treasure find in the Gulf of Mexico.
Oh, that explains why she's been hanging around in Iceland, I guess.
How about Soren?
What do you know about Soren?
That guy who runs the festival?
Yes.
He's worked with us a few times. Always seems like there's something just under the surface with that one. Cheerful and yet angry. Or bitter. Like he was holding something back. They say Icelanders never forget a grudge.
They do.
And by they, I actually just mean me.
All right.
Any other information for me?
Not really. Mostly I just kick it in this cubicle and keep my tall ship's lifestyle blog updated. It's called Ship Facts. Want to hear about it?
We'll give her one ship back then and move
Sure.
on. This has been a long enough
Educate me.
conversation
Okay.
already.
Ship fact. The forecastle on a ship refers to the upper forward deck of a sailing ship, but it's pronounced forecastle.
Why's that?
Try pronouncing it like an English sailor with no formal education. Forecastle. Forecastle. Over time it whittled down. Get it?
Hey, that's pretty neat.
All right, that's enough.
Later.
Bye now.
We will now leave Alex alone for quite some time until we are able to head out to the lighthouse, which may well be in the next episode, but we'll come back to that. Let's head down here to the belly of the ship. These doors, you don't go anywhere, but we can turn down this hall, head down, and go into here, where we can do a little snooping around. We can check out some of these barrels here, and these all look fine, but this guy, we get a little crack and disfigurement in, which is an indication to go looking.
Dagny's been doing a little sleuthing of her own.
Let's see what Dagny's note says. Well, the festival went downright horrible. I'm still scrambling to pick up the pieces. In light of recent event, the town's like a pressure cooker. Even Soren's starting to act weird. I'm keeping my luggage in his office by now. Okay, so that's where her stuff is. But that might have to change. I've changed my phone password to Scuttlebutt to throw him off in case he gets a little nosy. Why would you write that down? Who are you writing this to? Saw Gunner with this old thing. Okay. Won't let me get a look. Appears to be using it as a tea coaster. Typical Gunner. Maybe it's part of something else. Update. Gunner has taken to calling me Minke. Looked it up. It's a type of whale. Cannot wait to get out of this town. Alright, so I'm not sure what this is, but it looks old and important. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. I do remember seeing Gunner putting his drink down on something. I guess that must be what it is. Head down into the hold. Can look over here. Can't really do much of anything down here right now. But just be aware that it exists. And then back here, nothing in the corner, but around the side, we do have a flashlight.
Turn on. Missing batteries, I think.
Okay. Fair enough. So nothing too special in the hold. I'm not overly impressed just yet. But why don't we... There we go. Back to where we started. We can head in here. And this is the captain's chambers. And I think there'll likely be a lot more interesting stuff in here. So first, let's take a look at this nice picture of a guy and his dog.
They look really happy.
And we see Elizabeth with this gentleman who is Magnus. And she told us that, she kind of barely knew him and they weren't very close, which this makes that seem to be less true. Little dog bed. I haven't seen a dog, but we have that. And then nothing to do in this fridge. We do have a map here of some kind with a bunch of letters. Nothing we can do with it just yet. Over on this shelf, see a little plant. And this box here that we can open up.
I think I need to get all the wooden sections pressed down.
Alright. This shouldn't be too difficult, but... So... Okay, so they just change whatever the closest one is. So, let's see. Oh, press down. Okay. I should be more systematic about these, but I never am. I just kind of go until things start to come together. Which is not working out for me right now. Here, hang on. Alright, shouldn't have paused it. Got it about 3 clicks later. Okay, so let's see what we got in this little puzzle box. Dear Elizabeth, hi, miss you. Kvechka, something like that. Looks like some notes between Elizabeth and Magnus. I don't know why we have Magnus's notes unless they just keep them together. Maybe they shared this cabin. Magnus, the entire point of the exercise to communicate. That means long letters. If I only get to see you once a week these days, we better make it count. Remember what we talked about? This is good for us. Okay, I'll start. This week, I booked an audio rep for the Ancestors Festival this year. Soren is, as usual, make it difficult, double-checking every invoice, and worse, he takes organization to smothering levels. I can tell he doesn't trust me at all anymore. That hurts, but at the same time, I can't help but wonder if there's more to it he isn't telling me. He seems protective to a fault. My old roommate Asa wrote from Paris. She sends her love to you. She's still doing the backpacking thing. I admire how free she seems. I don't think she will be home for the holidays this year. Hopefully you will be. I want to finally put up a tree this year. Can we do that? Can we get a tree and decorate? It'll be all ours, just you and me. Isn't that cute? Love, Seta. Elizabeth, fine, we can get a tree. No two decorations. Never decorations. The Limerick book is coming along well. I think I'm onto something niche, but I miss Skiprot, I miss the dog, and also you. When I return, I'd like to borrow the Langspiel from the Misty Skip. The Langspiel? It's one of the instruments. Where's your sense of holiday cheer? And fine, I'll limit myself to 2 strings of lights. You'll like it once it's all done, I promise. You always have. No, you can't take the Langspiel out of the pub, love. It's great-grandmother's, and I don't want it broken. What do you want that old thing for anyway? It's just an antique. I doubt anyone's played the thing in years. Speaking of the dog, Toomey and I are on a classic war film marathon. I watch for the plot, he watches for the horses. He jumps up barking and presses his nose to the screen whenever they run past. He's a cute one. I'm glad you let me watch him this time. Lots of love and kisses, Lisbeth. That's cute. I like that little addition.
Magnus seems pretty insistent over this long spiel thing.
Elizabeth, I need the long spiel, please. I promise to take good care of it. I'll wait until the festival's over to have a look. I'm being quite serious. Love you too. Stay warm. Alright. So, we have this Langspiel that we'll have to go back to the Misty Skip and check out to see why Magnus is so interested. I like the nice jaunty sea tune going on in the background. Let's see. Nothing up here we can look at. Oh, wait. Yes, there's a piece here. We're going to grab this, and then these other instruments we're not interested in, but we do have this little note here, which is talking about toys and pattern that doesn't quite make sense just yet. I'm not sure what he's talking about with puffins, toys, ponies, dogs, but we'll just have to keep this kind of in the back of our heads with all the other items that we're just holding on to.
Wow, an antique desk, and it's in pristine condition. Time to break it open.
So we do have this antique desk with a little puzzle lock, just like all the other puzzles that pop up in the game.
The rules being used in each row here.
And this is almost too simple, or it becomes more difficult in its simplicity. It's easy to miss exactly what's going on, but basically what's happening here is you got to figure out the number and color for each of these tiles. And if you look, there are 3 yellow tiles and 4 red tiles in all of the rows. So we're going to make this one yellow, we're going to make this one yellow, and we're going to make this one red. And then all of the rows add up to 9. So we're going to go back to this one, and let's see, we have 7, 8, 9. We have 6, 9, and then we have 8, and again 9. And that opens the desk for us. Let's go left to right.
So, Dagny's trying to keep a low profile. I wonder if that's why she called me instead of going to the police about Magnus.
Alright, so a little note about Dagny, from Dagny. Seriously, who leaked this? Have you been running your mouth? I hope you realize it's going to take a lot of dough to make this disappear. So this is talking about what we already heard from Alex about how Dagny's in some trouble in the States. So we can move on from that. What's this in the middle? A key of some kind. Oh, there we go. It's the lighthouse key. Well, that's good because we're going to need that since Alex has put in the request for us to fix the lighthouse for her since she doesn't want to get all unbundled. And then finally we have this book here. Alright, some more reading. Today my head feels worse than ever. Have not slept in 3 days. Can't stop thinking about the ship. Toomey and I have moved on board into the captain's quarters. Elizabeth finds it strange, my living amongst the ruins of a dead crew. I can't blame her. Last night I saw a shadow moving on the ship's deck, just out of the light's reach. Have started keeping Toomey with me for safety. Midnight thought. What if the treasure isn't on board at all? What if it's somewhere else entirely? This winter is darker than ever. It feels like it may never end. With Lawrence, nothing is a coincidence. He meant for this treasure to be found. I'm getting closer, and the more I uncover, the more scared I am to say anything. I sense that someone is following, and my tracks ever so slightly out of my sight. He's starting to get a little paranoid. Found my journal open on my desk this morning. I always lock it away, and last week I thought I heard someone outside my cabin out in the snow. But when I peeked out, no one was there. I'm not imagining it. It's real. I swear it is. There's no one I trust, not even Dagny, not even Lisbeth. The town has their cute tourist story, but I alone know the truth. Searching for these pieces has been the thread connecting the seams of my life. I found the first when I was a boy, a small button, clearly old and carved, with no sense of it belonging. I've never told Lisbeth about any of it. Interesting. Every weekend, my private clients ask me to chart a new course for some new tourist destination. They always want to go to the same 4 dive spots, the same 6 beachside bars, the same 3 ports. While I sail, I think of the treasure, and I think of Elizabeth. I think of my life, the life she deserves. I can't give her my life, constantly being at sea, constantly on the clock. Something has to change. This treasure is the way out. All right, so we're getting a little hint at Magnus's motivations. Poppy's funeral's today. Afterwards, I went to the ship and worked. I know there's an answer buried in Lawrence's breadcrumbs. It's right in front of me. Elizabeth stayed beside me all day, long into the evening. She didn't argue with me, just reach for my hand. Oh, that sounds nice. I wish I could tell her about the footlocker and the items within it. The footlocker. I didn't know they were her family's when I found them, I suppose, but that's not an excuse for continuing to keep them, is it? Someday I'm going to make things right with her. I just hope that when that happens, she can forgive me. At the funeral, my uncle reminded me that my father used to call me Little Thrond. After the famous moody sailor of my childhood sagas, it is written that Thrond's heart was ever false. Perhaps I, too, am a liar at my core. I miss him so much.
Sounds like he's gone through some troubled times lately. Is this a code?
All right, so I'm close to figuring out the lock in my quarters. The combination is tied back to title-sounding depth charge. When the locator compass is placed correctly on the chart, 4 numbers will be visible in the locator's holes. These 4 numbers will open the lock when entered in increasing order. I have half the locator now, which is this item here. Tracing some faint markings at the top of the mainmast revealed the total sum of all 4 numbers visible in the locator's holes. All right, so there's some marking at the top of the mast that we'll have to check out, which will give us a hint to these 4 numbers. That means I still need to find at least 2 numbers to be able to locate the correct place to put the locator. 1 number is hidden in Lawrence's antique map on the wall. Okay, so maybe we can take a look at that, since that's the map in this room. I need only break this code to see which letters to pin. My search continues for a second number and the other half of the locator. Time is running out.
I bet Magnus was in the middle of solving this. Looks like one of these words is scrambled within each row and column.
Yeah, so this is a relatively interesting puzzle. Might pause for some of it, but basically we're looking for each word in either the rows or the columns. So let's see if this theoretically could be where y'all is. So we'll say, where's it? There we go. Y'all right here. However, it may end up being that we actually want this Y based off of which things come up. So that'll make a little more sense when we fill out some more of the kind of chart here. So why don't I pause for just a few words until things are coming together a little more, and then we will come back to it. All right, so got a lot more of this filled in, and we can kind of get a better look at how this is going to work and how the different pieces will play together now. So let's see, what do we still need? How about helm? We have a J anywhere for jib, so we got a J and a B here. We're already using this I, and I don't see another I in this column. Any other J's available anywhere? No. So it feels like we will need to use this J, but I can use this I over here, so I can take bowsprit's I from this one, use this one instead, and then get jib there. And that's basically how this all comes together. Now, I don't have any words that are going to fit well with this. Perhaps gaff. Alright, good. So we can use this G for gaff and turn this to gaff right here. Clue, any C's available? Okay. So this L, we can switch to this L. Make this, oops. There we go. Clue. Oh. This should be there. Okay. Alright, any G's for guide? Yes, so we have G, Y, B, and then we need an E. So we can take this E from helm, and we can use this one. And then guide, okay. And then, let's see, can we make rake easily? Alright, R-A-K-E. Spar. So I'm gonna have to do a little jumping around there. You can put stern in, and then obviously spar will go right here. So we're gonna need S, P, R, and then one of these two A's. And we'll just have to play a little game jumbling around these A's here. So how are we going to play this? If we use this A for yawl, this A for keel haul, and then we can use this A.
Okay, looks complete. What can I use this for?
Alright, I'm just going to write these letters down. B, F, W, M, J, L, C, U, D, R, S. Okay. So yeah, these are the kind of cut out little letters that Magnus left to go along with this. We are done with this desk now, and we'll continue searching the room. But first, I want to get one of these numbers here, and this antique
find
map
some pins first.
is what we're going to use. Oh, we need pins, huh? I don't know where pins are. I forgot where I got those. May actually have been in Magnus's house. So I lied. We'll have to come back to that. But for the time being, we can check this guy out here. Oh, never mind. By the pins. And we see this.
An old keyless lock. The trick is to enter a combination from the smallest number to the largest.
And so these are the numbers that we're hunting down. We saw from the note that we can use this locator with a depth sounding chart once we have the second half of the locator to use 3 of the numbers to discover the final number, but we'll sort of dive more into that when we're actually ready to. For the time being, there's nothing we can do with this. We can also look at the bed here, but there's nothing to do yet. Nothing up here, nothing over the door. So we'll just come over here.
Okay, time to place some pins.
And we'll go through all the letters that we just had. So how about E, F, D, I suppose I should try and go in order. W and M, J, L, that's I, oh there's L, C, U, And then R and S.
This is one of the sounding numbers Magnus was looking for.
All right, so that was one of our numbers, is 14. And we're looking for just a couple of more numbers. It's going to be it for the cabin for right now until we're able to come back here once we've found all of the sounding numbers. So the last thing we got to do on the ship is head up to where the top of the mast there, where Magnus said that there was another number hidden. So we're going to climb our way up.
Magnus's notebook mentioned this. The 4 chart numbers must add up to 86.
Excellent. So we have that little piece. We also see these little cards, I'll call them here. What these are, we're not certain yet, but we'll have to come back to that in the future when we collect a few more. But we'll climb back down now, and that is going to be it for the ship. Let's see if we can finish our conversation with Elizabeth here quickly, because there were a few other things that she didn't want to talk to us about when we annoyed her by trying to get in this door.
Hey, Nancy.
Is there anything more you haven't told me about Magnus?
No. Guess you'll have to leave now.
Yeah, let's try to kind of appeal to her better angels and her obvious desire to find Magnus, despite what she has said.
Elizabeth, I'm trying my hardest to find Magnus, but I have to admit I can't do it without you.
Let's go with this.
I need your help, Elizabeth. I need to know what you know.
He is quiet, thoughtful, keenly obsessive. First over his dog, then over his writing, then over me, then over the ship.
Why would someone like him be hunting for gold in the first place?
He has certain intentions with the treasure.
Which were...
A boat of his own. He desperately wants to leave town. Leave Eastland.
I thought he was a captain already.
Oh, he is. But for wealthy people. Private clients. Never his own boat. Never his own destination. He dreams of living like the old captains. Sailing wherever the wind takes him.
I see. So the treasure would allow him to fulfill that dream.
Here, have this. Magnus left it at my place. After we broke up, he called me looking for it. But I hid it. It looks like it might be the key to open some kind of box. But I've never seen any box like that before. I don't know why I kept it for myself. Maybe I wanted to see whatever it was he saw in this hunk of driftwood.
Okay. We'll check this out next
Thanks,
time.
Elizabeth. I'm going to get to the bottom of this mess.
And let's see. Last
You
one.
spend a lot of time here. Don't you have somewhere else to be?
No, I'm still on festival duty. In case of a ship emergency, I'm responsible. This vessel is an antique. Things break suddenly, and it's hard to hear the alarm from the harbor.
I see. Interesting. Bye-bye.
Bless.
Yeah, I'm not really buying that, but that's okay. We got some time left. I think we will end things here. Spent some nice time on the ship, learned a little bit more about Magnus and a touch more about the treasure. But when we come back, we'll have some more work to do. We got that Langspiel in the Misty Skip to look into, and maybe try and find our way over to the lighthouse. So I think we'll deal with that. But until then, see ya.